Before I start the video, I would like to say if there are any command tutorials you want me to make, feel free to request them in the comments section. This one is highly requested by VoidTiger8453, and in my opinion it's a pretty underrated feature. Without further ado, let's start. The target selectors are crucial for your command block creations. Without them, the game is unable to know which entities you want to target specifically. Although there are 5 listed as you type the command, there's also a secret 6th one, not present, which I find to be extremely useful and not talked about as much. Today, I will be covering all 5 of the commonly known ones, plus this mysterious 6th one. The 5 well-known target selectors are @all, @entity, @random, @player, and @self. Starting off with the simplest, @self. @self, abbreviated to @s, targets whoever is executing the command. For example, if I were to use @s while giving an item, such as an apple, it will always pick whoever does the command and not someone else. Unless, of course, another player types the command or /execute was used. But wait, what if it's in a command block? The answer is simple. You get an error message. Why? Because command blocks, as implied, is a block, not an entity. The next target selector is @p or @player. This one will always target whoever is closest to the person who did the command. It will most likely pick yourself unless you use the arguments, which I should save for another video. If you put this into a command block, which isn't a player, it actually won't give you an error message because it's not trying to pick itself. It will pick the closest player from the command block. @a, or in other words @all, is used to pick literally all the players on the server, regardless if a player is executing the commands or a command block. There really isn't much else. @e is similar to @a, except it will target all the entities in the world who are in loaded chunks. For example, killing @e you would think kills all entities, which is kind of true unless they are out of loaded areas and get loaded back into the game. You can test this by teleporting far, summoning a mob with a name tag, teleporting back, executing the command, return to the mob, and they will still be alive, unless someone else is still with the mob. The last of the commonly known ones is @random. This will target a random player. This is especially useful for randomizers, obviously. If you are wondering how to pick an entity who is not a player, you need to use a type selector argument. This is most effective with different arguments because on its own, you can only select a player. Finally, I will cover the 6th target selector. But before I do that, I need to tell you about this special mob that some of you may already know, the NPC. NPCs are basically entities that let you customize menus with buttons and add commands to them. It sounds overpowered for map making, because it is. If you are curious as to how to get one, you can simply do /give @s spawnegg 151. Now, let's say you wanted to teleport the player who actually clicked the button. Which target selector would you use? Pause the video if you want to take a guess. You ready? If you guess @p or @s, I gotta admit, you are close. There is a problem with both of these though. If you use @s, you'll be wondering where the NPC went. That's because it teleported the NPC, not you. So maybe the solution would be @p, which works better but still has one major flaw. Whoever is closer to the NPC will be teleported, not necessarily you. Then what's the correct answer? I think you may have predicted it's the secret target selector. Introducing @initiator. Solves this exact scenario and targets the player who actually clicked the button. Note, for some reason it's not @I, and you actually have to type @initiator for it to work. Also, it doesn't work in chat or in command blocks. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something new from this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, and also don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials like this one. Comment what tutorial you want me to do next, and I'll be sure to see you in my next video. Goodbye.